Hello physical fiends, it is Jordan here with 10 upcoming physicals that I am really hyped about. I love the fact that any game gets a physical release, it comes with the territory and supports the future of physical media. But which games am I truly hyped and excited about? Ones that when I think about them, there's a genuine rush within, as childish as that sounds. That makes this list a very personal thing. It doesn't necessarily mean these are the best games, nor the ones hyped by the general public. You guys know I like some niche stuff, I love my curiosities. AAA isn't always my bag, and you're not going to find any roguelike deck builders, although maybe something close which may surprise you. I'm going to start with some honorable mentions before I get into the 10. Games that almost got into the full list for a certain reason, or just missed out for a certain reason. Trails in the Sky, second chapter. Now this is more in solidarity with the fans of the Trails series, and it's one that given the right circumstances, it could have very well been my number one. The problem is, I just haven't played any of them, let alone the one prior to this one, which is almost essential to this experience. It would be very dishonest of me to suggest I could be overly excited about getting this day one. But you can bet I will 100% pick this up when the time is right. It's coming to the original Switch, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch 2 on a proper cartridge. Brigandine Abyss. This one has some hype for the fact that only the Hong Kong physical release on Nintendo Switch 2 will be a proper cartridge. Other regions are game keys, so I want to support the publisher going out of their way for the consumer, and it will play in English, so import it, support it. Toy Story Retro Roundup and Toy Story 3 Complete Edition. You know what? Why not? A random retro collection of games that mildly interest me, even though I don't really care about Toy Story. I just think it's kind of neat. Is that okay? Can I think it's kind of neat? It's coming physically on Switch, Switch 2 on a proper cartridge, and PlayStation 5. Shenmue 3 Enhanced. Look, I love the first two, but for some reason I never jumped into the third, and I'm kinda glad I waited since this is an enhanced edition coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Switch 2 on a proper cartridge sometime this year, probably. Tales of Eternia Remastered. This one's strange. I love a PS1 JRPG, especially ones I've never played before. However, the physical has not been fully detailed yet. At least I don't think it has, and I hope it hasn't. It's definitely getting a release in Japan and Asia with English on the physical. However, nothing has been said about the West. The physical's not been announced yet. Will it be announced? I hope. Geppy X. Well, this might be out by the time I publish this video, so it would be weird to be included in an upcoming games list if it's already out. So that's why it's not in the proper list, it's just an honorable mention. It looks great though, and I have a video for it very soon. Alright, let's move on to the main list. This is in no particular order. Dragon Quest Monsters, The Withered World. I think during the direct that this was announced in, it didn't really hit me all that much. It was only a few days later that I'm like, oh my god, this is a proper sequel to the original style Dragon Quest Monsters. At least that's the impression I get. And as someone who only really got into the original game on Game Boy and loved it almost as much as Pokemon, this is a bit of a nostalgia blast. The Dark Prince was pretty good, but this one just has that extra feeling to it. It feels a bit more authentic from the short amount of footage that I've seen. But I am hyped, and it's releasing physically on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, December 3rd. Sadly on Switch 2, it is a game key. Boo! Blue Reflection Quartet is coming really soon at the end of this month, and sadly it is an import exclusive physical release, but that's just how Koei roll these days. But not to worry, because the Japanese physical and the Southeast Asian physical release will include English. And as the name implies, this is a quad pack of JRPGs. Okay, only two of them are fully fledged proper JRPGs, but the other two are just as interesting since they are an anime and a gacha mobile game that have been reworked into being JRPGs. How? I don't know. I'm really curious to see. You get 4 games in the magical schoolgirl saving the world, battling gods sort of thing, while having a nice bit of Yuri bait thrown in for good measure. This is a huge import, not just the size of content, but how many people are going to be importing it. It has the standard edition and a collector's edition which has a character visual book, cloth poster, and a download code for some costumes. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. While this is already out on Xbox and PlayStation 5, the upcoming release on Nintendo Switch 2, against all odds, is going to be far, far better than the PS5 and Xbox physical release, because the Switch 2 physical is a proper cartridge with all the essential data on it. Even the PlayStation 5 and Xbox physicals were download required. How insane is that? I love Oblivion, and I haven't had the chance to play this remaster mainly because of the crap physical release for it, but now it's coming to Switch 2, properly, physically, hell yes. And if you want it or any of the games included in this video, I have linked all of them down in the description and pinned comment. VGP are a fantastic company who have free worldwide shipping on orders over $55 American, and for some of the imports included, I've also linked to Play Asia, where if you click my Play Asia link, you can get 5% off with my code Jordan2026. Any purchase made via any link below that helps support me and this channel in the best way possible, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Remaster. Now, there is some devastating news about this, the fact that in the West it is digital only as a release, but in Japan and Asia there's also a Switch 2 release, but it's a game key. Boo! But an actual, proper PlayStation 5 physical release is coming, which is the one that I am going to be getting. The English cover Southeast Asian release from Singapore. I will be there day one. Well, I'm not going to be in Singapore day one, but you know what I mean. Because I absolutely love Dynasty Warriors 3. It was a life-defining game for me. And the fact that they're rezzing it up, adding new stuff and all that jazz, it feels like a dream come true. Genuinely cannot wait for this import-exclusive release. Alongside the standard edition, in Japan only, which will still play in English, they also have a treasure box edition, which has a soundtrack CD, art book, and extra cover sleeves. Tenebris Somnia is releasing sometime this year, probably. It's been published by Lost in Cult, a boutique publisher still kind of finding their feet, but they do deliver. This is a really unique horror game that's definitely got me excited. It is a mix of top-down adventure pixel horror with FMV cutscenes. That's nuts as a combination. A game dev and a film crew teamed up to create something really different. And despite being FMV, it looks almost too good, like too well acted, but I will let that slide. I'm not expecting any Jill sandwiches, but a nicely constructed survival horror game. And apparently, the FMVs will help you in the game too, like giving you clues and also seeing things from different perspectives. The physical is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch 2 on a proper cartridge. And while the standard will be at retail, exclusive to Lost in Cult's website, they have a very limited edition, as well as a retail plus edition. I've linked them down below too. Riviera, The Promised Land is an import-exclusive release, and the fact that I've been asking for this for years, I would be a fraud if I didn't include it in this video. This was originally a dinky JRPG on the WonderSwan, but it's more famous in the West for its remake on Game Boy Advance and extended remake on PSP. Now it's in HD on modern consoles, and I had given up hope on a Switch physical, but here it is. Play Asia have an exclusive English cover version in the first print edition, which comes with some very nice extra goodies. I'm really happy about this. It is a strange little JRPG, perhaps doesn't fit like the big screen as well as it did the dinky portable systems, but it's unique, and that's what's made me quite excited about it. English physical in Asia on Nintendo Switch. Guys, this is the sort of release that is the reason this channel exists. Culdcept The First. Okay, so there is a brand new entry that's out in Japan by the time you see this, and in the West it's coming later in the year. But who cares about new games when there are old-ass games to gush over? And yes, Culdcept The First was originally a Sega Saturn game, never released in the West, but now it's getting an official English translation on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, with the physical coming in September. With its originally classy art style and hardcore gameplay, this card battler laughs in the face of roguelikes. A tactical game as much as an RPG, I can't wait. Really, genuinely. In North America, alongside the standard retail release, there's also a gorgeous looking collector's edition that is exclusive to VGP. I've linked them down below. That has a double soundtrack CD, a reversible cover, art cards in the style of the game cards, acrylic standees of the characters, and an art book. Super Bomberman collection. I can't resist a good retro collection, and this is a good retro collection. Full to the brim with Super Bomberman games, all now translated into English, plus a couple of the NES Bomberman games too. And hopefully the upcoming physical will include the newly added game, the puzzle game. I can't remember its name off the top of my head, something W. I did ask my contact at Red Hot Games, so I'm trying to still confirm that. Either way, this is a fantastically put together package that was made with love by Red Hot Games. They really wanted to show Konami they were good for it, and it has so much content for both single player and multiplayer chaos. I reviewed it digitally and had such a great time with it. Physically at retail, it's coming on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, but if you want the Switch 2 proper physical release in Europe, it is exclusive to redartgames.com. I've linked them down below, and in North America, it is exclusive to Video Games Plus. Go support it, it's really good. Before I get into the last bunch, if you're new here, somehow stumbled upon this random video, and you love physical video games, then hit that subscribe button. It will be the best thing you do today, I promise you. Plus, the bigger this channel is, the more publishers will pay attention to the demand for physical media. Imagine if this channel had 1 million subscribers. Would Sony have cancelled PlayStation physicals? Hell no. Do your bit, subscribe. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered. I didn't think this ever would be a thing, but here we are. Call it digging down the back of a sofa to sell anything again. I don't care. I still want to play this Godzilla arena fighting game on modern consoles. I've wanted to play this for years. Originally released in 2002, this was built from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5 by the same studio and will feature 12 kaiju beating the crap out of each other. Apparently they have updated the unlock system and it will have online multiplayer. It's releasing physically on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 on a proper cartridge November the 3rd. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3 Switch 2 editions. Okay, this is a cheat. This is a 3-in-1, but I don't care. More Xenoblade is good Xenoblade. The 3 mainline games are coming this year as Nintendo Switch 2 editions on proper Switch 2 cartridges, of course. This is really bolstering the JRPG library on the Nintendo Switch 2, and although the original game has been re-released more times than Star Fox 64 at this point, the other two could really do with this upgrade. Monolith really pushed the original Switch to its limits, and having a definitive edition of the entire trilogy means JRPG fans will be eating so good over the course of this year. The first physical is coming at the end of this month, the second in October, and the third the beginning of December. And those are my hyped physicals that are coming out in the near future. What about you? Do you agree with my choices? Let me know what you are hyped about. If you're hyped about them enough, well, maybe I will be more willing to cover them more in depth in the future. I only have so much time, so I have to choose my battles carefully. If you're hyped about something, let me know, okay? And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.